Hello, good evening. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, Zambia. Merry Christmas to Impala. Merry Christmas to everyone who is hearing us today. This is definitely a very different Christmas, in the sense that the events that are happening in Zambia right now call upon us to respond. And I wished that we all had a very quiet and enjoyable Christmas Eve, but unfortunately, the events that happened in Lusaka yesterday demand upon us to respond and react to some of these things. Today, I'm coming to you live from my office at Moonsha Law, a law firm here in Canada, in Calgary, Alberta. And the reason why I am coming to you live today from my office is because I have now completed my 14-day quarantine after my trip to Zambia. And coming back to Calgary, I was supposed to be in 14 days. So I have finished my 14 days in quarantine. And so I'm very excited to see our office and just get back to business once more. My trip to Zambia was successful. Today's address, or today's discussion with you concerns what happened yesterday in Lusaka. And the reason why we must really talk about it is because we can't let this just slide, okay? Now, there are some that are hoping that we just let it slide and forget about it. We can't. And the reason why we cannot let it slide is because of the consequences, the importance of us participating in these things today, okay? As you all are aware, yesterday we came live and we particularly were addressing the events that happened in Lusaka. The shooting of 2 innocent civilians by the police. One was Mr. Nsama and one was Joseph Kaunda. We understand that the funeral now is being held in Lusaka for Joseph, and so is the funeral being held for Nsama, Mr. Nsama. I do understand that Mr. Nsama is a Jehovah's Witness, and so in keeping with the faith of the Jehovah's Witnesses, usually their funerals are low-key. And in fact, when burying, they don't make it into a big deal. You don't even lay wreaths, you don't lay flowers or anything like that, in consistency with their faith. And Zambia being a Christian nation, I think we all do very well to observe that and respect that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Nsama's funeral is much more low-key in keeping with the Jehovah's Witnesses' faith. And then we waited. When I came to you live yesterday, I expected that we were going to receive some kind of a statement from the president. Now, I need to be very clear. I find that even if these killings were carried out by the police, I do not think that the police are the ones that are responsible for these killings. There is only one person responsible for the killings in Lusaka yesterday, and it is President Lungu. It is not the police. It is not even Kampyongo as Minister of Home Affairs. The one who is responsible for the shedding of that innocent blood yesterday, that responsibility falls squarely in the laps of President Lungu and nobody else. There is therefore no report that the Inspector General of Police is going to deliver to President Lungu on Monday that is ever going to make sense. The reason is we already know who is responsible. We already know whose actions have led to the death of these innocent lives. Therefore, we are not going to continue to be mocked by a leader who has no concern for the people that he sought to protect. This is not a police issue. This is not a police discipline issue. This is not somehow a police officer who just decides to take the law in their own hands and begins shooting at people. This is a well-orchestrated and planned move by the president to cause chaos in the country during this particular season so that he can use it as a pretext to either declare martial law, to declare the state of emergency, or arrest the leader of Zambia's biggest opposition party. I do know that several of my friends are saying that no, it is the police. In fact, the Law Association of Zambia has issued a statement in which they are saying that this is a police matter, it is a police indiscipline, and they are calling upon the police to do what is right. I do not agree with that statement. I can only agree with the statement to the extent that it apportions blame squarely in the laps of this president. The events yesterday happened, and President Lungu went to bathe in Luangwa without addressing the people of Zambia. Now, we are not saying that he ought to have come with complete information or full information. You cannot, as head of state, go to bed while your country is burning and people are getting shot on the streets of Lusaka, and you sleep soundly. You issue a statement 24 hours later. I'm going to read through the statement and discuss with you, my fellow citizens. That is not the behavior of a person who is ruling properly. I'm going to say this. Uwafya ni balungu tabaleteka bwinwe chalo iyo. Bafirwa okuteka pantu wemuntu teti. Your citizens abekala chalo bafwa. Babashuta in broad daylight, in very controversial circumstances. Babashuta abantu bafwa. Wayasendama walala. Ukwabula okulanda nangu chimo. Notulo wino wakwata wasenda mawalala nefi yako chita wachitefi yako chita kuluangwa wachita chitefi yako chita kuluangwa bwaila walala elo chirya bwacha teko bati kachero bwangu wapone na poperiash iyo walolela 24 hours later elo nomba wasalemba statement pesa pa Facebook. Icho ndefo emwishibe mwebekala chalo kwebati ifi tefyo muntu wakwane na bwino engateke chalo. Elo nomba lelo mulando okubati yo mukwai ni bakapokola. Ebo twalarira ati yo ni bakapokola bashuto omuntu. Ifunde lya Muzambia nili. Tapali kapokola Muzambia ungalonga live ammunition mumfuti. Ukwabula kateko okumweba ati longa live ammunition. Takwaba kapokolonga chitecho. Takwaba kapokola unga sende mfuti. Whether ni rifle nangu ni AK-47 abika mu live bullet mulya mumfuti. Ukwabula kateka okumweba ati alemune longe mfuti. Kapokola. Tetabule mfuti ashuto muntu. Ukwabula express permission from the commander-in-chief. Eicho teti tusumine ifyo balungu balelanda okweba titabeshibe bwino fya chitike mailo nabeshiba ubwafya tebaka pokola iyo kuti uleseka kwati chiweme ubwafya tebaka pokola iyo mwebe na Lusaka ngamlefo okusolve iyi problem panono tebaka pokola iyo baka pokola muleba bepeshe afye nakanganja wine mulemu bepeshe afye ubwafya ni balungu ebepeye abantu ababafuire mailo bantu bakapokola. It's very easy ukudiringa na bakapokola bomfwa ama commands nefilandwa kuma politicians bakapokola tabayimi na fyabene baya mukushuta abantu takwaba mwebo takwaba oko kapokola Muzambia engema aya mukushuta abantu takwaba bomfwa ifilanda Lungu bomfwa ifilanda Kampyongo nomba ba Kampyongo abepi nalaba landira koko bati nabo bene bali innocent tebo twala pelo uyu mulandu wako alungu ngaya kutela balungu balefwa ya report pamande kwalepa twala bapela report lelo ukweba ati abalengere abantu kufwa mulandu wako bati uyukateka tate mu abantu ala beperekesha mukumoneka kwana kalimo ali chefya sana ini kwana kalimo bena bali bahambo kanshi mkuwaibufi eicho tatofuire tuwasumi n'obufi bale bepa naye kuli statement bale mbele obwafya bulipo bwako bati iyi statement yaisa first of all 24 hours mwewekala chalo apo fena ngfeni panga ndafe kutuwa mona fye situation taidi bwino walanda pwedi ya shipamonga father of the nation angu shan lombe fye barechita fyabu bashika dongo even de betera ni bashika dongo pantu fye barechita fyama dongo defyo bateke chalo efyo number mumfwe statement paragraph 1 my heart goes out to the families of Nsama and Fiso efyo webo if your heart goes out to the families of the deceased nga wali kwisa no kusendama wayasendama bwino mumutima omo no kubuka wabuka no kulota walota bwino na pali piro wasendama fe bwino abantu nabafwa. I have taken a moment to reflect on these senseless murders and I have spoken to the Inspector General of Police to find out what could have really happened. Inapapa sana. What could have really happened is very clear for everybody to see. Abashutire ni bakapokola. Nomba ngani finding out of what could have really happened. Garaputira nikateka wa sakamana abantu tali nonshitanga chaputira ni bakapokola bole chita blame ebalengere tali nonshitanga nawo batamfya kale. Nicho niena. If chitike fini balongo tapali na bambi. I have spoken to the Inspector General of Police to find out what could have really happened. What could have really happened was that 2 people were shot by the police. You see, akale during kaunda kutimwa pango obufi. The reason why it's takwali ama cameras. You know, kaunda ngatuma abantu baya mukushuta bayipaya abantu. You can easily cover it up. You can't do that in our democracy now because onso muntu nakwata camera, nakwata phone, bali ikopa. No kuimwena, na tuimwena bwino. If you bakapokola, bachitire behave. Neryo haka inde ichire mabamu tuwere ku force headquarters. Nefyo bakapokola bale chitafyonse filipa camera. Elo nomba lelo ba Lungu batwebe okwe bati bebere Inspector General of Police achite find out finish. I behavior iya bakapokola okusenda live ammunition kamyebe na kaide. Teya bakapokola. This is not bakapokola's problem. Bakapokola they only serve under clear instructions from our Twitter ama civil administration, politicians ba Lungu na Kampyongo. Teilero bakapokola batampokola chita load live ammunition when dealing with the people. It's not today. Mugalo mwana Mandevu constituency, niku Mandevu kolya, niku chipata compound marapodi. Nibani bamushutire, tati nibakapokola. Nifinshi fyali mumfuti, teif polo fyalimo. Bala ndoko but it was a stray bullet. It was a bullet nevertheless. Iya ipeye mugala. Umwana we school, grade 9. Busheba Lungu, taba ishive okwe bati bakapokola, bala bapela if polo. Live ammunition okuya ipaya abantu. Bapa pasana te, bala chita investigate. Bachi Shimba Kambwiri, in his statement today, Bachi Shimba Kambwiri, Dr. Kambwiri, Bachi Lando Kobachidio Babekete, last year, is it last year or this year? The police fired 30 rounds of live ammunition when Kambwiri was just himself and his family. Kambwiri saying he had no idea, he had no idea who the police were firing at. 30 rounds of live ammunition. Elo lelo ba Lungu batumfye chalo okwe tabari sure owashutire mwebo mulenje ba kuti kwabo umuntu mailo ichipondo fye ichasendele mfuti ukuye mukushuta kulya ku force headquarters with the police that were on the streets of Lusaka yesterday. That somehow a criminal somewhere just came up, took a gun, and started shooting at people. Yesterday. How many shootings has Lusaka experienced? Valungu vafirwa kuteka. Ishimfwa ni lungu wa ipaya. Imfwa ya kwa Mugala ni lungu wa ipeye. Ne imfwa ya kwa Nsama na Joseph Kaunda ni lungu wa ipaya. Ifefi ya kwa bati yo mkuwa itulolele report. Ngani report nshtuala lolela. And I have spoken to the Inspector General of Police to find out what could have really happened. As you heard from the Inspector General of Police yesterday, police are investigating this matter for the motive and to find out who is behind these killings. However, I now direct the inspector to use every resource available to fully investigate these matters as quickly as possible. I must receive the report by Monday, 28th December 2020. This gentleman is not serious. Vaashika dongo. Tababa serious. Mwabekala chalo. He's not serious. Tebantu. I challenge you. Tefi chita behave umuntu efi. Webo. Ati has instructed the Inspector General of Police ukowati baka bapele report pamande. Babebe usheni nani wa ipaya. Yangu tata mawe. Ati babebe kuliba Inspector General of Police ati ni nani wa ipaya. Countrymen and women. It was supposed to be a speech. Nomba tabalandi lepa radio, baposi ite pa Facebook. The deaths of these two Zambians would certainly have been avoided. Oh my God. The deaths of these two Zambians could certainly have been avoided. Look who is talking. It would have been avoided. How could it have been avoided is the question. One, the president should train the police properly. No kuba traina ba police, bali ba traina bueno. Nomba, alefichitila modala. Ba Lungu, ishimfuti balepera bakapokola. They are doing it deliberately. Nama bullets. They're doing it deliberately. Bakapokola's main job is not to shoot at people. It is to police the republic. How do you police the republic? You help people to enjoy their rights. To let people enjoy their democratic rights. Abena Zambia nga balefu okukumana. Imwe bakapokola kuchitashani kuya bafuirisha. Mukukumana balefu haya. That is the job of the police. Nomba Balungu na Kampyongo bali chinja. What is the job of the police? Eichokanshi mule mwena na muyamwana matankers yari aliko mailo. Those are military tankers. They're not for policing. They're military tankers. Na muimona ide video bakapokola weso balimo. No kuimba bale imbe nimbo shansele. Ain, bale tukana, bale imba. Atishira bale terasane chimwera. In that car, it's an armored vehicle. It's not for policing. It's for killing. If you are that yom lungu bale something for shani. No, it's for killing. They have bought bullets. They have bought armored vehicles. They have bought military-grade vehicles and ambulances in order to kill the people of Zambia. That is what President Lungu has done. What we saw yesterday is a rehearsal for more bloodshed that Lungu plans to unleash on the innocent people of Zambia. It was like a rehearsal. Mgafirama Sampalech the rehearse for his wedding Saturday. Mulemona Baleshana, they are rehearsing. Efyo Lungu achitire mailo. Bantu. Zambia has never had military grade hardware for the police. Nemfuti ba police ba kwete ni adi pembela nsokele. For those of you, even under kaunda, pembela nsokele. Yakobat babika mwich polo chadira balolela, babika muna chimbi chadira balolela. Now he has bought for them military grade weapons to kill the people of Zambia. And then today you were telling me, Okobat Teshive, Okobat Champapusha. And he says it could have been avoided. Of course it could have been avoided. The culture that President Lungu has built for the police is a culture of killing. It is not a culture of killing people that deserve death. It is a culture of killing innocent people. Innocent people like Mugala, innocent people like Nsama, innocent people like Joseph Kaunda, innocent people. That is what he is aiming at. It would be better for us to remain quiet. There is a lot of incentives for me as a lawyer, as a citizen, as a person with family in Zambia, to remain quiet. A lot of incentives by my fellow pastors who say, don't speak too much. You are a man of God. You are a preacher. Just remain silent. There is a lot of incentives for me to do that. From my own relatives who support the ruling party. A lot of incentives. I'm not going to remain quiet. And if there is a price, personal price that we have to pay, let us pay it. But we cannot allow a president who unleashes the force of military-grade force on the innocent citizens of our country. We can't. It would be irresponsible for us. We will have betrayed our birthright. We will have betrayed the Lord who made us to be born in this beautiful country. And on the day of judgment, what are we going to say? That we tolerated a killer to use the powers of the state to kill our people? And I must enjoy all the luxuries and the comfort that comes with compliance? No. He says it could have been avoided. Now, look at this. He's not blaming himself. He's not looking at his actions. He's not looking at the fact that he has allowed the police to use live ammunition. No. He's not looking at the fact that he has used the Kaloba to buy military-grade hardware for the police. He's not looking at his actions. He's not looking at the bullets that he has bought, the bombs that he has bought for the police, the military-grade hardware, the vehicles, the ambulances. That he's not looking at himself. Who is he looking at? From his statement, it seems we have cast aside our values as a country because we now believe politics or politicking must be our daily bread. For goodness sake. For goodness sake. We now believe it pays to spend time at police stations and courts as cheerleaders of politicians, even over cases that we know little or nothing about. President Lungu is not thinking correctly. This gentleman is going to take our nation into chaos. Mwebekala chalo tefilanda umuntu ule tonton kanyefi. Munjerereko. Number. Just his statement. These deaths could have been avoided. Now, who is to blame? Bachinja nomba. Tabarelolesha pafyo barachitire. Pafyo bachitire militarize bakapokola. Pafyo tabalefunda bakapokola. Pafyo baleba bakapokola. Pamfuti bachitire bakapokola. Nefi polo babachitire. Okwe batibare ipaira abantu. Nomba balanda tiyo. Obu bwafya wako bate mulechita sana ama politics. Elo mukulanda kwa bwabene bebere. It is because we've cast aside our values and believes that politics or politicking must be our daily bread. We now believe it pays to spend time at police stations and courts. Ule twala abantu kuma police stations nani mwebo munjebe mwebe kala chalo. Ule twala abantu kuma police ni nani? Ule itira bakapokola abantu ni nani? Ule ikata chimbaka mwiri ukumukaika 10 charges and we are still counting. Ni nani? Uwaikete uyuhichilema ni nani? Elo nombalelo balungu balandoko bati yo mkwai mwebekala chalo mleposa sana enshita okuya kukapokola na kumakote. Ushe tebaka pokola balungu bale ikata abantu. Saboy imboela alembe fintu pa Facebook bamutumina bakapokolo kuya mukusecha mu bedroom. Ati mu bedroom mu emu alemberwe efyo alemberwe pa Facebook baya mukusecha ni bani bachitira efyo. Bantu fyabene palwabo abama politicians balungu bale ikata nokutwala kukapokola benate bantu nomba we muntu wekateka we ule tontonkanya bwino ngakutuwalemba shani ifi auti abantu balesangwa sana kukapokola mwebo te balungu bale ikata ula abantu chila bushiku aba ikete Anthony Bwalya ni bani ngaba ikete mubita na wani bani. Abantu ama politicians baleya sana kukapokola pali inonshita pali ndakai omulandu wako bati ni balungu baletuma bakapokola aba ibererefe bakapokola teiti bakonkaniepo umuntu alemba fe pa Facebook aponta ko pa Facebook atisa kukapokola iyo mwila bepesha bakapokola tuwapapata. Aba bakapokola ni babululu sheso, ni bandume sheso, ni bankashi sheso, bafyashi. Mwila bepesha bakapokola iyo. Nga kumakote, aba tuwala kumakote ni bani? As cheerleaders of politicians, even over cases that we know little or nothing about, you know nothing about if batwarire HH kukapokola, therefore abantu should not go there. I've read the statement from the Catholics, okay, bishops, Catholic bishops. If you're balembere nifi mwebekala chalo, please read that statement. Bebere ichalo okwebati, when you are summoning the leader of Zambia's biggest opposition party, ufuire ukuchistana mano efiranjire ba katolika. Techolande fiat yo mkwa inakuita iwe hichilema isa kukapokola, and it's a small thing. Takwa bapo mwego. If yo lungu aleteka, tefyo bateke chalo yo. Tefyo. Teine ndelanda ni bakatolika, Catholic bishops abati kwena we lungu. Na bapapa bakatolika, Catholic bishops, they are completely shocked. Abati idio mwale mutumina ama Simon yu ati ese kukapokola. Busheta mua tontonkenye. Ukabati, this guy is the leader of the second largest political party in the country. Nama charges yene stemming from 2004. Echo inende mweno ukabati uyu muntu waka ele. Haka inde hichilema waka ele nichi. Aba wa milandu hichilema inonshita. Ngakale ngabadi ipaya uyu hichile mangali panga po fyomulando nangwali forge hapo aka nono fi a forge hapo fi signature ngabadi ipaya inoshita necho tabai ipayira nicho wakaere echo tabai ipayira so nomba bafiru apa kumwikatira mwamona we muntunga wanonka limo kuti kwa bako ka mistake kamwako wachitire at one point. Nomba badi yeshe bafuairisha tabaka sanga. Ife bachite kuri Chimbaka Mbwiri, baire mukuimba ama pepa la Chimbaka Mbwiri achitire. Ayakale mu 2010 na mu 2011 mulia. Emo bazanga ati Chimbaka Mbwiri na ufoja bakaka. necho akaende hichilema pusukira ine nshaishiva pantu nawo wine kuti vayafe mukusecha mpaka vasanga omulando necho wapusukira nicho wakaere eicho nomba vakoselela mumilandu isho sha 2004 atalisa ichita disguise akaende hichilema kwana kalimo ni social worker elo aya mukupoka famu kukalomo uyu mulandu wa kukalomo it's actually in the high court in civil case. It's a civil case in the high lelo balelo bulula umulandu wako kalomo. Now if you ba katolika bale ipushisha ukwebate what made it so urgent for you ukuita uyu muntu on Christmas ukwebate mumuchite question about what happened with that land in 2004 kukalomo when the same thing is actually in the high court lelo balelo bulula uliawe no mulandu eicho tuwasango kwebati mulemu ntitikisha necho tulemulandilako nicho tekubati yo twali mutemu wafya ifui akaende hichilema tulemulandilako pantu ichalo abaleteke ichalo tabafuire ukubomfya institutions of the state to persecute a citizen never eicho tulemulandilako eno noku nensambo tulemipera ba PF na ngufya bashamutemwa hakaende hichi katamwa mutemwa nishtamwa mutemwa chirifye bwino pantu firafine temwa mutemwa efyo bambi na bena ba mutemwa firafine efyo tamufuaya kuli hichilema efyo bambi nabo batemwako bambi mumulanshova o munsho moneka ngakakote ero kwali bana bambi barandati obubwino obokote ebo tufuaya ati ububwino obukote ebo twatemwako ati kulia kuino okusunta eko batemwa okusunta nemfui ati efyo batemwa eicho kanshira muntu ali kwata bamupata ero kwabana bamutemwa nomba iliyo mwaingira mu government te kwamba konomba okupakasa okubomfya language yako ayino okupakasa okupakasa abantu mulandu wako bati mwali bapata echo tulekana pafure paba differentiation between personal hatred na state action nomba imwete kuingira mufiat yo mkwayo yumuntu tu pantu mutali tualamu ikata pantu muipi tualamu ikata pantu wali kashika tuwaikata pantu wali fita tuwaikata pantu mutonga tuwaikata pantu mulozi tuwaikata pantu wako chipata tuwaikata pantu nikaonde nangu mwaushi wako milenge mwaikata iyo bane iyo so nombe statement that it was unnecessary because people are finding time ukuya kukapokola nicho mulebeta ukuya kukapokola for frivolous charges completely frivolous ni wole bekata ni wole beta kukapokola ati mila ndisho tabeshibe tafiva kumishe kano imwe fimi kumishe chitotela aire na makadas kukapokola SCC aire na makadas na court queen aire na makadas chitaluchilofia te wakuluwa pula iyo chitaluchilofia katuishi ande mona kwati muve mbankonko chitaluchilofia te wakuluwa pula iyo te tubulu te wakwesu fuego chitaluchilofia te wakwesu kuti atuweba kwati iyo kumushiko mwakwe ni kuisa atuwebe kokanshi chitaluchilofia alisende shamfu mushakuluwa pula ati nshindikeniko kukota ero cha diva na pakoti chitaluchilofia cha diva na magistrate atino mwenso waingiramo na fiesha mfumu ishakwesu kumansa na kumirenge amona fie mfumu shafula ati na magistrate ero na makadazi ifi nomba mwebo chimi wa minefye mweka balungu naba neno abo mweba nabo imwe chimi wa minefye ena hakainde ichilema iyo abatonga banango yakainde ichilema tete bamushindikeko kukota kano chitaluchilofia abena luwapula bamushindika aita nemfumu shonse shakuluwapula ati bamushindike mundala mesho aiva ena chamu wamina imuo mneno hakainde ichilema tiyo tete If you can't shift your mulela and dapa to your mkwai, it was unnecessary because police people are going to police stations. Ni wole be takaidi. And even after being cautioned against going to the police station in this particular case, citizens, many in sponsor transport, transverse there. In short, we have become pawns in other people's games. Lungu, President Lungu, please stop it. Zambia is a democracy. People are free to organize through political parties. Our constitution reigns supreme over the wishes of man. If you want to rule Zambia in the way you want to rule it, kapange ka Zambia kowe kupeta oke nangu kumalawi. Do not do it in Zambia. Zambia has its own law, has its own constitution that guarantees people the freedom to associate themselves with the people that they want and the political party they wish. Just like the Catholics have written, Mr. Hichilema is a leader of Zambia's biggest opposition party. When you are summoning him for frivolous charges, the members of his political party have a reason and a duty. Okubashindikako. Bamushindika Hichilema ati muna Hichilema leka tukushindikeko kuli bakapokola. Ngachishite bamushindikire. Imilandu shabufi tebamushindike ngabamushindikako. Ngabamushindikako bakapokolefe bali no kuchitanifi. Kuya eba Hichilema ko bati na tumfuati kuli abalefo okukushindikako. Ifo yazbaka pokola twala kweba e route bala bonfia. Tusontele nama security men ukwete as a party. Makwati tuchiteliez nabo ife tukabomba pali buli abushiko. Kuti bakumani napa tabafuire bachita cross uyumsebo lelo. Tuakula bachita observe from a distance. Ero na security team yobe tubombere nayo chapa mo. Ukengiriro oku waingira mforce headquarters bakuchita question about that land in 2004. If you're why straight these guys, ero nomba why achita forge, ero nomba wachita land. Disguising yourself. That is how you behave as the police. Don't kwa difyo yo. Bakapokola baishire bonfya filia fine fima armored vehicles Lungu abashitire. Ngani nani washitire? Ni Chiluba? Ni Isata? Ni Mwanawasa? Ni Kaunda? No, ni Lungu. Ewa abashitire filia fima armored vehicles. Basamwa. Imisebo bashinka. Abakayere nabo babekata. FLHT. No one is above the law, not me, not anybody. And as long as I'm president, I will not allow anybody to usurp criminal justice. Yango tata mae. Ukuteke mbwa mano. Efirandire ba katolika teine. Ukuteke mbwa mano eba katolika. Go and read their statement. Yo taparia weda tukuteke mbwa mano. Gawabirenga statement tuwasango ko bati bakatolika Catholic bishops baleba Lungu ko batala tekanya. Abati yo somebody is usurping the criminal justice system. There is only one person usurping the criminal justice system. Ni we epela. Mwa nenso ala muimona kwana kalimwe fitulelanda nicho fitwalipata Lungu. Iyo icho tulelanda ko tulerilira kwechalo pantu Lungu nga mwamulekerera ala ona ulechalo. Epela. Ishimfweshi. Tashiberere yo. Nsama ali eno ifibalenda tiyo atikwali chongo chali chongo kwisa nsama aya mu office yako pa NPA. Elo alanda aya mukunu wako ashiteko breakfast pali ka restaurant mupepe. Pali apeni mpo baide mushutira bayipaya. Elo after ba shoota mwelo. mulenda tiyo mkwai kwali umbi fyo wa mshutire bakapokola immediately after baipayo omuntu basamubula basashani basenda ngarakutira muntu umbi epeye talinga balilolela ama first of ambulance yaisa ama investigators baisa ama forensic investigators ilo chitumbi palapene chilele forensics baisa taking ama pictures wino ali mu position nshinishi afuire ukwaingilile bullet nikwi bullet yale 10 na kwisa nomba within minutes bakapokola basensente chitumbi na crime scene yachitashani yaba contaminated elo nomba balungu lelo ati yo balelo lela report bakapokola na bachitakava kale na bachitakava. Nsama was not just a prosecutor or a lawyer, he was a husband, dad, son, and that's why we find your actions, Mr. President, to be completely unacceptable. If you're semlelanda, it's crocodile tears, limbi kuluangwa, ama crocodiles, yamyumfuisha bwino, ukutambe fina makuluangwa, waumfo bwino, wambo kubeba, if. Then you have Joseph, again full of life taken by political activism. It's not political activism that has taken Joseph. For goodness sake, Mr. President, Zambians have the democratic right to belong to a political party of their choice, to advocate for their candidate, to share ideas with others about their political preferences or religious preferences. Political activism in our democracy is constitutional. Joseph has a right to be UPND. Joseph has a right to tell others to become UPND members. Political activism is not a crime in Zambia, for goodness sake. People have the freedom to do that. It is you who has a problem bantu. Umuntu ngaba politically active mu Zambia mulei paya. No kubapela frivolous charges. No. That he has died because of political activism, what nonsense. Munjereko. Imwe pamo mulanje batiyo shima pepo ta nonsense. Nine shima pepo kasesema na asesema. Okweba ati ifilandire balungu muli statement is nonsense. There's no two ways about it. Okweba Joseph Ichamwipa is political activism. Imwe makadas venu amakadas baba PF freely moving around. Joseph atiyo mkwa Ichamwipaya, it's because of political activism. Ichamwipaya niwe Lungu. Lungu niwe wa ipaya. Epela. Niwe wa alia. This is the time for all of us to reflect as a country about the Zambia we want. Zambians have already reflected on the Zambia they want. They have a constitution that guides. They have the police service that serves them. They have the army that deals with enemies, domestic and foreign. Zambians have their cabinet, their ruling party. Zambians have reflected on the Zambia they want. They made a constitution in 91. They made a constitution in 96. They made a constitution in 2016. Zambians already have an idea of the Zambia they want. If there is anybody who needs an idea of the Zambia they want, it is you, Mr. President. You've got to reflect on your behavior. This is completely unacceptable. We, the people of Zambia, find it unacceptable that you would be saying that the reason why the police are killing us is because we are not sure about the Zambia we want. Mr. Lungu, Dr. Lungu, here is the Zambia that the Zambians want. They want to be free from political persecution. They want to be free from political oppression. Zambians want to be free to be Lozi, to be Tonga, to be Bemba, to be Nyanja, to be Ushi, to be anything they want. Zambians want to be free to exercise their liberties, to vote for the candidate of their choice, to go to the ballot box, to be protected by the police. Zambians want a Zambia where Joseph Kaunda can leave Kafue, or was it a Kaunda Square? Joseph can get onto a bus and go to give moral support to the leader of his political party, the United National Development Party. That is the Zambia we want. In fact, that is the Zambia that our constitution gives us. It is a Zambia where Nsama would be a policeman, change, become a prosecutor, change, become a lawyer, do a law degree, study law, and he would be free to do that. A Zambia where he would be able to wake up, talk to his children, hug his children, go to the kingdom hall as a Jitawala, as a Jehovah's Witness. A nation that respects all religions, all denominations. Bachitawala, Bachimpempe, Bapente, Bakatolika. That is the Zambia we want. Waking up that morning, this gentleman went to his place of work. He chatted a little bit with his friends. He told them, I'm in a briefing. He then left Ofukuya Mukudiako somewhere. Bantu Muntukudia. He went. It is when he was at that restaurant that police, under your supervision, took a gun, loaded it with the bullets that you bought, for goodness sake, and wanted to deprive Zambians of the very freedoms that the Zambians have. That is what led to the death of Nsama. Zambians have reflected. As we pray for Nsama and Joseph's families with broken hearts and outrage, there is no broken heart. Vashika tapali broken heart pamulebe epafye. We see cancers, their families see cancers. I ask each one of you to stay calm as investigators do their work. We've already investigated and we have found you, Mr. President, to be responsible. Let us remain resolute against crime and say no to political chicanery and demagoguery. Babi Kapunama bombastics. What a terrible leader. Political demagoguery. It's not political demagoguery that has killed Nsama Imwe. Ni mumu aipaya, ni mumu alia. And then he ends the statement by saying, have a Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. The people of Lusaka, chances that what has happened here will not reach the villages are very huge. In spite of the growth in communication, it's very unlikely that the people of Milenge will even experience what happened in Lusaka the same way. But Lusaka, you will determine who gets elected in about 8 months. When the day of voting comes, please remember this. Remember this statement that has been posted on Facebook. Remember the kind of thing that is happening with the police. Policemen and women are you. They are Lusakans. They are your friends. They are your relatives. They have no problem. They are doing what they are doing because they are being sent by the president. If there is anyone who should feel the weight of your strength, it should be the Patriotic Front and President Lungu. On August 21st next year, is it August 21st or August 12th? You know what to do. Do not vote for this gentleman. If you elect this gentleman again, there will be more confusion. There will be more bloodshed. To the people of Mandevu, Mogala, who was killed, that little child with a lot of life who was killed by police bullets. And the police are doing that because they have a president who allows them to do that, a commander-in-chief who is reckless and is willing to spend a lot of money, not on school, not on things that matter, no, but on bullets and guns, military-grade rifles to kill the people. Dear people of Mandevu, you know what to do. People of Lusaka Central, people of Marapodi, Chipata Compound, na kwa Mandevu, na kumatero, kuchunga, kuchawama, na kwa misi sikonse. Especially mumwebe na chawama. Bantu ba Lungu, bale mibepeshe ati bantu benu. Ushe mumwebe na chawama. Mumutende wenu uwo mwakwata. Kuchawama, sure. Kuti muasumina ukweba ati abepeye nsamani bambi. Ale mibepeshe afye. Ulia Lungu mwaishibe chakolo mwale kolona nkwelu tuku. No yulungu alipona afipsana. Uyulungu alefu okuipaya. Icho mwebena chawama na bena misisi. Nakwa John Lenge. Ain, nakwa John Howard. When the time comes, mwika muvotelo oyu muntu iyo. Taleteka bwino. Nomba na imu mweba kwa Kanyama. Na kuchibolia. Mwebena Lusaka. Ni mwe mukachisa determine uka wina next year. Uyu muntu mwika mvotera. Lesali mupela chance ukuba chatekeko. Nomba taleteka bwino iyo. Instead ya kuisula mumutima mwakwe. Mubechite mwiko. Ukutemu abantu bonse. Tamuli iyo. Mwaisula olupato. Olupato lwakupata hichilema. Tatule landa tafuire ya mutemwa iyo. Ngatalefu kutemwa hichilema chifie. It's okay. Ubuafye bwako bat nomba alebo mfye mpolo polo shiachalo. Abo mfya imo mwebe na chawama. Abo mfya imo mwebe na Kanyama. Abo mfya imo mwebe na Chibolia. Uko mibo mfya. Elwa yashite mpolo polo. Apera baka pokola. Ati aleni kabieni muipaye. Efire chitika. Elo nombalando kubati yo ni mwe. Mwishinalien mwebe na Chibolia. Iyo mukamukane. Mukamukane. Mwebe na munali. Kaunda Square. Stage 1 na stage 2. Ngaisa. Amirete lolo pia mukalie. Lelo pa kuvotela mwika muvotela iyo. Bantu uyu muntu nikepaya. Mwimono kutekanya kulia ukufuka kulia kufuka kwa bufi. Ishimfwa ni yena wipe. Eicho kanshi mwebe na Lusaka bonse. Na imo mwebe na Kabwata. Bonse imo mwebe na Kabwata. Livala. Chilenje. Mwika muvotela iyo. Bantu ukukuteka tekuteka bwino iyo tabare teka bwino na mano na yapela efire chitika muli statement. Twachita 53 minutes kwashala 7 minutes number muleti pushana. I did not expect a written statement but a video message. You can't shoot at people. Kainge ni Lungu aleva tuma. Ni Lungu aleva tuma. Lawyer without borders. Bali will fix it. Aho kutekanya. Aho mwandi. Kanshikula chinja ako. Tatufire no kunenuka iyo mukuchinja. Lungu wafirwa. Tubike pombi. Olia muka bika pona yena nga afirwa. Muka mfumie po atengare tueshe komu nshanang. Kwetu mone efa katuchitira. Efa chufiroko. Nishirenda tindei minina. Iyo. Icho ndela nda. Chakwe bati. Ngalakuchira Lungu wafirwa. Mfumieni po. Mubike po nani. Gani ichirema mlefwa. Mwamubika po. Gani kambwiri mlefwa. Mwamubika po. Na kambwiri. Nangu ichirema bafirwa. Nga mwalanda timunshana yena tekeko. Na ine mwambika po. Na inenga na afirwa mwamfumia po. Mwambika po waba nandi. Bali ambomba nabo. Kulusaka. Nati munja wafirwa tubike pona bambe. Kula chinja afye. Ine nde chitafe joga ino. So disappointed with the president's predetermined outcome. Where is Jesper's report? Where is the report of the fatalities? Where is the gassing? Takuli report. Elo pamandati balepokelela report. Anso lufiengo lo ala chitika. Over this report, you'll see on Monday. Baka pokola nomba bala mu overdrive. Bala ave mungu ikata. Pantulungu abebati, give me report by Monday. It's very unfair. Yeah. It's very unfair. From Mambo district, tuned in, a very heavy heart. It's true, very heavy heart. Avena Chingola, Comfort Fisonga. It's pretty sad. Are we sure Wakateka is in Zambia? Wafi. Until you understand this, you'll be running in and out of the hospitals and changing pads every hour. Don't forget to share, follow my backup page. Oh, how I think of now Daniel Mulenga sosa sose chalo chirekumfu. How mkwai tualanda. What do you have to say?
Hello. Are you getting me?
Yes, we are. You are very clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, my fellow Zambian youths, and how are you, Council Munsha?
Very well.
Thank you. My comment is based on the speech by the president. First of all, it was a total joke and a blame game as well. As usual, like there's no way a president would issue such a statement trying to show or to portray that one, he's so saddened about what happened when he actually knew from the beginning, from the onset, he knew that the operation would take place. So we cannot buy that statement to say he's so saddened about the death of 2 people yesterday. No, that's a total lie.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is I think it's high time we change the system. Not because okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mwene Frank. Alanda Mwene Mwende. Now I agree with you. Glenda Chiwerwando Mwans, I'm surprised that it is coming from you as a lawyer. They are all to blame. If I pay someone to kill someone, I'm as guilty as the one who put the trigger. Of course, I just want to elevate the focus, right? Because so far, all the statements by Glenda, they're saying that no, it's the police. What I want to do with what I've spoken here today is to raise the conversation. And by raising this conversation, what I am saying is the police are doing what they are doing because of President Lungu. Because President Lungu can act to stop this nonsense. And so many people are being fixated on, no, it's a police problem. And I'm saying, let us leave them out for a little bit. Let us leave them out for a little bit and focus on the main culprit. I know that legally, of course, the one who put the trigger is going to be in trouble for it. But I'm not making a legal argument here. I'm not trying to win a court case before a judge. What I'm trying to convince the people of Zambia here is that the one who is responsible for all this mayhem is the president. And you as citizens have something that you can do about it. And you should not even let him escape it by blaming somebody else. Already, he has started finding someone else. So it won't even be the police. Believe me on Monday, it won't even be the police. They're going to find some guy who suddenly appeared somewhere and killed all these people. That is where he's running at. But we must remain very well focused that this death is caused not only by the police, but by Lungu's recklessness, by Lungu's immediate action, conscious decision in arming the police, buying them bullets, and making them to be so indisciplined that they can shoot at crowds and the people of Zambia. That's what I meant. Indeed, President Lungu is responsible for the killings. Musonda Banda, yes, he is. Elis Sheshe. This is why they were blocking the roads and journalists, but people had footage. Yes. Yeah. John Matipakalaba, this is an analysis of what happened yesterday. He's not inciting anything. That's why politicians think of the general public have no sense. Oh yeah. Well, if you're saying that I'm inciting, the only thing I'm saying here is that President Lungu is the one who is responsible for these deaths. I'm not inciting anything. I'm just stating the facts that it is President Lungu who is responsible for all these deaths, right? Even his statement from Luangwa, bale lira ku Luangwa ekipeshaman, bale nwa, bale lya, n'okulala bale lala, n'okutusha bale tusha ku Luangwa, n'efinama bale tamba ku Luangwa, bale nwa, bale lya, bale lala, n'efinama bale tamba, n'okukita efe bale fwaya bale ekita, ife akukita kita bale ekita ku Luangwa. Bale lya, bale nwa, bale lala, bale tambe finama, nefya kuchita ku Luangwa bale ekita. Ero nomba kansha abera Lusaka bale chula. A statement bapanga balungu. Chilufia, ba Chilufia.
Hello, Mkwai.
Lete niriash.
My regards to you and the family and all the 1.3 million Zambians that are watching.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I have a question for you though. Omulandu nga kyakweba ti uli mu court ero bakapokola baleeyita omuntu kwebatisa tukwipusheko pusho pamulandu uli mu court. Is that right? I mean,
okay.
That's my question.
But Chilufe is asking whether Umulandu uli mukot. Okay, so there are two things that we need to distinguish. Number, Twarangira in a very boring law class. Okay, so bear with me. So the case that is in court right now is a civil matter. So a civil matter is a dispute between private parties. Okay. So there is someone from the family of the departed person, right, who was sued Hakainde Hichilema. And so it's a dispute between private parties. And so that matter is continuing in the Lusaka High Court. It's a civil matter, private. The state only comes in if a crime is committed or is alleged. So it's very likely that something can be prosecuted both ways. Prosecuted by a private party as a civil case. This is what is in the High Court. But also that the state, after it notices that there was some criminal activity, they can also do a criminal inquiry and a criminal charge. Normally, it is the criminal charges that, it's the criminal court that goes first before a civil case, in most cases. The reason is in a criminal case, you have a higher burden, okay? You have a higher burden or standard of proof. In a criminal case, it's beyond reasonable doubt in a criminal case. In a civil case, it's on a balance of probabilities. So you have a very greater chance of winning in civil case than you have in criminal case, because criminal case requires a higher standard. What appears to have happened here is that the police just wanted to have Hakainde Hichilema, because maybe they would have waited for the civil case to finish before they instituted investigations in the criminal case. And so it's quite unusual. But in any case, those are the two differences, and those two things can go side by side, or one can go after another, okay? But the burden definitely is higher in criminal cases. For an offense that is alleged to have happened 16 years ago, it's pretty tough for you to have to reach the necessary threshold to convict a person on criminal burden. Yeah. It's pretty tough. And this is like an allegation of fraud what is the allegation again? That Hakainde Hichilema disguised himself as a social worker when he went to buy the property in Kalomo. It will be tough for the state to prove it. But that's not the objective, I think. The state here is just trying to victimize this gentleman, right? Because in 16 years, memories fade, people forget. In 16 years, people's alliances and, have all changed. In 16 years, people have died. There are no witnesses. It's pretty tough. The fact that they did it so urgently, it was Christmas time and they still wanted to have him in court for in police for questioning, really makes me suspect their intentions. Yeah, it's not a very watertight, credible case. If this state had any credible case, the police, against Hichilema, we would be talking about something else today. Yeah, I hope that has answered your question. Wiseman. Very rarely do I get like legal questions, like legal something questions. So I get excited and I've probably overdone it, but that is what is happening. Wiseman, briefly, Leteriash.
Good evening, State Council.
Yes, good evening. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Good evening to the rest of the people who are following the 1.4 million. State Council, I've got some questions for you.
1,500 is not 1.4 million. Is that a million? Okay.
Anyway. Thank you very much. State Council, I've got questions for you, and I really need your guidance. The questions are as follows. Number one, I want to clarify something. When people said you are inciting, I think it's them who are inciting, because it was President Lungu who told the nation that when you hear my ministers talk, it's me talking. When Kampyongo was telling the people that the police will face you head on, it was President Lungu who was speaking. When Bowman Lusambo was saying that we will break your bones when you try to attempt, it was President Lungu who was speaking. So it already justified. But the question is that, which investigator is going to start investigating this case, who has failed to give us the answers about the people who gassed us here in Zambia? Which investigator is going to investigate this case, who's going to give President Lungu the answer on Monday, who has failed to give us the killer of Vespas, Shumujila, the killer of that young child who was at school being shot? And to what I know, State Council, is that when you shoot something, that cartridge remain on the ground. Up to now, the police, they have failed to find that cartridge. Whose bullet was it? Was it a government? Which investigator are they going to be used? We have been fooled for too long, not this time. Thank you very much. Let us follow the procedure, and I'm begging you as well, State Council, at least extend the broadcast. We need to interact. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, the fact that somebody says that I'm inciting does not move me. I'm not inciting anybody. I'm merely saying that the person responsible for these current deaths is President Lungu. I'm not inciting anybody. What I'm saying is President Lungu bought the bullets that were used to kill those people. President Lungu bought armored police vehicles. He militarized the police because he knew exactly what he wants. He does not care about the people of Zambia. I was reading his statement. His statement is false. His statement is insincere. His statement does not mend. It mocks the dead. His statement apportions blame on others, not his actions. His statement is a violation of the constitutional liberties of our people. He says that what killed Joseph was political activism. Political activism does not kill. Political activism is protected by our country's constitution. If President Lungu is unwilling or unable to lead this free country, he can resign tomorrow and disappear to Petaoke or Malawi, whichever is closer to Luangwa. Otherwise, the people of Zambia next year should fire him. Now, to say the people of Zambia is too general. The people of Mandevo, the people of Munali, the people of Chawa, the people of Kanyama, the people of Kabwata and Lusaka Central. They are going to play a huge role next year. And it's my prayer as a prophet that President Lungu be defeated, if at all he does not resign. That's what it is. It is not inciting. Manda. Amutishan. I'm very well. How are you? I can't see you.
Hello?
I'm very well.
Yes, sir.
I can't see you.
Apana chala ndako kuti. Hello? So there's no light where I am. We don't have power.
It's okay. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
The power is gone. So this is the reason why you can't see me.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Merry Christmas too. Yeah, I'm just happy with the way you have articulated things. So at least I've learned a lot of things, because most of the people, they're just condemning for the sake of condemning without reasoning why. You know what happens is that they are just playing like a Dununa game or hide and seek. Someone sends the police to go and they attack people, then at the end of the day start fooling you, the Zambians, to say that it is we are going to investigate and who the exact person was. But yet there are a lot of people, eyewitnesses were there, and the most shocking thing is that like Mr. Nsama was not at the exact place where those happening were happening. He was at a certain restaurant, trying to have his breakfast. But what surprised us is that I think that maybe they had mistaken him to maybe one of Mr. Hakainde's lawyer, who is the Mr. Mulambo Hahimbe, because the lady resembles a lot. There's a little bit resemblance to Mr. the lawyer Mulahimbe. So it's like the sniper who was sent there. His target was to assassinate one of the lawyer or the president. When your heart is you see.
Thank you, Mr. Manda. I think you've mentioned very important things. And I know I've heard there are some allegations that Mr. Nsama does look like Mr. Haimbe, and there could have been attempts at assassinating him. I cannot confirm that, and I would really not want to dwell on conspiracies that way myself. I do think that the police were quite irresponsible in the way they administered the bullets that Lungu had provided them. Yeah. And I think President Lungu directly is responsible for these deaths. That one I know. But on whether the police had wanted to assassinate Mr. Haimbe, I cannot allege that. Okay. And of course, the places were not at force headquarters, but you all know Independence Avenue and Cabinet Office, and where the NPA offices are. The NPA offices and the Attorney General's offices, where they are, it's within the same vicinity, and the police had blocked so many routes, and so they could have been involvement in different places. Some footage shows that some action was taking place near the Cabinet Office, so maybe that is where the police could have shot the deceased. On investigation, it's very so President Lungu has instructed Inspector General. He has not instructed any independent people to investigate, like the Human Rights Commission probably. He says, Inspector General, please do this job for me. We all know what that means. Yeah, we all know what that means. Yeah. Patrick Chilufya.
Mwisha wetu. Mulishani bakwetu.
Win.
To start with, thank you, Bamusha, for the job you've done, starting from Bill 10 and other issues affecting Zambia. You and me, I think we are comrades in the struggle for a fairer, better, equitable Zambia. And I think we should continue fighting until our country is liberated. I think what we're fighting now, Bamwisha, is similar to what our forefathers fought before independence. And not only that, it's also similar to what we fought in 1991.
Yeah.
Some of us were so young, we just came out of school. And if we could manage to unseat the UNIP government, together we can unseat this government next year.
Yeah.
And then, Bamwisha, you've made very, very important points. And I read Lungu's statement, I almost cry. Because, Bamwisha, to start with, Lungu is the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
The police are not allowed to shoot. They're not allowed to carry guns with bullets. They're only allowed to carry guns with tear gases. And they only do it when there's violence.
Yeah.
But for policemen, and not only that, Bamwisha, guns and bullets are kept in the armory.
Yeah.
And there is a stock. When whoever is getting a gun and the bullets and the tear gases, they record.
Yeah.
So they know who went out with the guns, who went out with the bullets, and when they came back, they did the stock. So already they know who killed, who fired those 2 bullets.
Yeah.
So for Lungu to say 4 days by Monday he needs a report, but it's
no, I agree with you, Patrick Chilufya. I agree with you, Patrick Chilufya. But it's absolutely. Yeah. On victimization of lawyers, it's very sad. Several lawyers yesterday, and even MPs, police were not willing to listen. Ati Romeo Kangombe, Honorable Romeo Kangombe, went there and introduced himself. I'm Honorable Romeo Kangombe. Akapokola ukumutonte mfute stwala kuipaya. So wakapokola ukutonta an MP imfute. Ati I'm about to kill you right now. In our Zambia, a member of parliament, I say introduce Kuli Kapokola. Kapokola, I'm an honorable member of parliament at Nara Kuipai. Lawyers, kainde ichire mara kwatama lawyers nangu 10 na inenganchita haya nkaba lawyer wakwe. No, I'm not yet his lawyer. Inonchita ndelandira kofie chalo nokulandira kwa balanda. Bantu mula tuseka tfwe basa mbirira tuliba kuwe tulatina. Nomba ine kanshi ivyo na difufuma moyo. Ndevo kulanda. Ati fwe basa mbirira omwenso ama lawyers omwenso. No, bale batinya ama lawyers. Yesterday, if a chat. Misha Kombium Nandi, I've sent the link. Aren't you seeing it? Let me give you the link again. There it is. You can call in, Misha boy. Tafiweme. You're manati nafiwa. Now go to Minarinko Waimona, ni StreamYard. Wise potumfwe. Virus, Mamunsha, do not be more excited when dealing with this sensitive matter. You can't be moping when the tap has got a leakage. Let's not be shy to talk about real cause of that fracas. Stop massaging the symptoms, it will not help matters. Can you imagine if HH had told his cadres not to accompany him to police headquarters? Byros Shimpundu, first of all, I don't know what your name is. So you're saying that you are Shimpundu. Anyone can be that. I don't take what you are saying to be very serious. And to answer you, I'll just refer you to the statement of the Catholic bishops that have issued today. Go and read that statement. That is where your answer is. Okay? So, Mishek, I'm waiting for you. I don't know why the link is not going through. Oh, the link is not going through? Let me try to get a new one. Okay, is it still not going through? Yesaya Banda, advocate, do you think we understand what multi-party democracy is? Compare the conduct of military police during the one-party state and now. Yeah, it's I think democracy belongs to the people of Zambia, and it is up to us to continue holding this government accountable. That's why we are doing what we are doing. That's why we are doing what we are doing, really. There is no two ways about it. It's because Zambia is a democracy. President Lungu was elected. Number 30, you elect. Bakusala wabakateka. Elo nomba ulefu atu kufikosha sana kwa nakari mori mfumo. Ala we mwaume. You are not. Bakusatite fie. Atiteka ko. Nomba wambo kuipaira po. Pampando, that belongs to the people of Zambia. Uipaye. MP ukumutonte mfute atuwala kuipaya. Who is responsible for that? Is it just the police? Kutumpafe kwa baka pokola beka? Yo. Yo. Yeah. Yeah. Mishek, you're not coming on. Need to mama links several times, so you're not coming on. I'm going to close. I have 8 minutes. We're just going to do 1 hour 30 minutes this time around. Okay. Auditor Chibanda, alendete niria shtumfu.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Is it true that President Lungu is a qualified lawyer or not qualified lawyer?
Is he a qualified lawyer?
The way is a military law, it's not the right way. Thank you.
Isaiah, the link is quite bad. Isaiah, the link is quite bad. But if your question is whether President Lungu is a qualified lawyer, yes, he is. Of course, just like every other lawyer, sometimes you get into trouble with your regulator and you're suspended as a lawyer because he stole a client's funds. So they suspended him. But he's a qualified lawyer. Yeah, President Lungu is very well qualified. I understand that he had distinctions in his law school. Very brilliant. A little bit, but very brilliant, actually. Yeah, so he's a qualified lawyer, yes. Vamunsha mulichi Peter Mwango. Ulefu ampuishe. Vamunsha mulijan. Chi and ends with a beer. Mulichishimba. Alevo kuntuka. Augustine will open, my brother, all what this government wants is to hold on to power. I think that's what they want. Ahmed, nintumakale link. I keep sharing the link. I really wanted Mishek, my friend, to because he wanted to say something. We should not blame the police, of course. I think maybe some people can blame them, but I want to take the blame right to the top. HK, mlete poshan. Okay, HK is not there. Mabuya Ngona. Brian Hankuba. Yeah. Mwansa Mulenga, it was good to see you in Zambia. Zambia was wonderful. Eh? Yeah, it was pretty good. I think the whole trip to Zambia will remain in my mind for a very long time. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, the Zambia Marathon was quite an interesting experience, really. Yeah. Venom Kalale.
Empire bamunsha
Mulipa mulabasa mutisha.
alifye bwino bamunsha twatotera sana pafyo muletu afwa ichapa kyesikwena tuli n'obukyosho bukaramba kirikwati abantu ababene abaikara mu fufulu ekikaramba baremona kwati fwe bashakwata tufulu twakwata mano icho kyasango kweba okuti muno mu Zambia dictatorship yalingira kale bantu there is no way bena like kuno kwene kunche ndoko naikara kuserenje fyali ekitika pono mbalini bena nga balepitana mu misebo takwa baba bakingirira bakapokola tabeminamo but ba opposition nga bayima benero bema nomba nishyala bere fichalo twaturandire niko twapapata
Emkwa efe tulirandira tawo tabareteka bwino imo mwebena serenje mulurekeshepo epela Zambia ni democracy so imo mwebena serenje time nga yaise yakusala mukasale bwino epela garakutila abantu bamusalo oyo nakaire akakonkanya apo kuipaya kangeni kepaya epela yeah. Naturandapo gale when it's PF escorting their leader it's solidarity but opposition can't. Elo ififi akobatu abantu barera ndati yo mkwaita twaiberera democracy tulabeko ala mweba umbe we are already a democratic country na Lungu wine aishirepo through democratic means bantu bamusalire okay ngata mulefa democracy kanshi ngare tumufumyepo Lungu tubike tukabika po nomba tukapika po dictator ai so nomba kanshi fya kuchitapa because Lungu aishire in a democratic manner ngale tumufumyepo nomba tukasara nomba tukasare dictator so kashi next year nishmuleza la dictator aine iyo mkwai Zambia is a democracy Lungu ngafirwa kubika po umbi na oludya ngafirwa mwabika po umbi ati munje sobe pona yo tekeko ati na iwe omone fyo unga tuchitira efya kuchita kola batu akula chinje afye paka bakeshiboko bati ifyo chifiroko bokuteka bwino mano epela nomba noti atiwe bakusala through democratic means nomba waisa fikosha wayashtem polo bullets nama face wakongola ku China face chira wakongola mpia ku China chira waibapo half nomba ichiresha shalako wayashta military grade hardware ifma tankers fya bakapokola namufimona Tatuwa kuetepo filia iyo. Ndemona na masoja, na jela asama soja na bakwata. Paku monoko wati bakapokola. Ebo bayashtila military grade equipment. Ifma tanka. Ifma ambulances. Ifma tanka. Ambulances. Hundreds and hundreds of them. Fiako wati kanshi baka fisawa nkaniye chalo chonse. Pako wati nga baku ipaya. Bakapokola bashuta bakuipaya kulina ambulance na manda iri mpe pia bakapokola manda ya bakapokola eikala tole efitumbi efyo bashitire balungu mwalifimona nokufimona ushende pa mwebe na lusaka mwebe na mandevu tali mwalifimona fimanda bashta if ma ambulance na fimanda ifikulu very big fyako bati fiyanangu ma potholes kula pita pofi efyo bashta it's not to keep peace kule tenkondo efyo bafishtire filia ngafyanshi so kali mailo yali ni reheso efyo bakalachita nokusensenta omuntu baleshuta fyo omuntu wapona nomubiri taulatalala basensenta bafumyapo efyo chali mailo nomba filia bansama ni ba Jehovah's Witness ndemona na family yabo ni Jehovah's Witness ba Jehovah's Witness ba senda religion fyapsanako ayin so limbi na autopsy ngakuka bakatwishi pandu ba Jehovah's Witness balipsanako mufyo basenda their faith. That is the strength of our democracy. Echo inendanjira pochira kushiko ukoba Zambia it's a free country uyu ni UPND uyu ni PF uyu mutonga uyu mulozi uyu wakuchipata shani a very free country. During elections abantu baya mukuvota very freely bavotero uyu a democracy tulefwaya echo tulelilirako nokuchuloko alamwandi ni tulechulira pamo ukoba Zambia iko se as a democracy. Edison Kibubi, Allen, let Eliash. Edison Tadipo. Mark James. Okay, thank you very much. Some people do follow this after the fact, so we've got to stop here. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully we can have some discussion. Actually, if something else comes up, we'll be back. But for now, Merry Christmas. Enjoy this industrial break for those that are breaking. Inenshirechita break. Alabwafia, ngole chitaranka business. Kanshi, chirashupa limo kuisala mwe. Wafia. Anyway, so I'll be back. Tomorrow is a holiday over the weekend. Monday, we are open here at Munsha Law. Kwafuirisha kwa abantu. Ubombela abantu. So maybe next week, we might be back and talk to you again. God bless you. Merry Christmas. This should have been a very different Christmas. To my family in Milenge, in Chiwempala, Nakulusaka Konse, and everywhere. Merry Christmas to you. Tuala monana, mualan, tuala umfuana, firavini tumfuana. Okay? God bless you. Thank you.